American Foundation for the Blind, White Cane Day 2025. A person walks with a white cane. A man with a black baseball cap and headphones sits in front of a microphone.
Hi, everybody. This is Tony Stevens, the Assistant Vice President for Communications with the American Foundation for the Blind. And as we gather here on White Cane Day, also known as Blind Americans Equality Day, which is October 15th, 2025, we wanted to spend some time reflecting on some of the key areas that we have been bridging in terms of equality, not here just at AFB, but across the blindness field and with the consumer and advocacy groups around the country. I'm excited to have joined with us today Preece, our editor in chief of AccessWorld magazine, a quarterly publication on digital inclusion and accessibility published by AFB, now celebrating its 25th anniversary. You can access AccessWorld at afb.org/AW, along with all of our 25 years of back issues that are available for free of charge online. But we're welcomed here by Aaron. Aaron, good afternoon. Happy White Cane Day. Happy Blind Americans Equality Day.
Same to you, Tony.
As editor in chief of Access World, you, in a sense, literally are riding the pulse in terms of digital inclusion and accessibility. And we thought it'd be great here just for this little YouTube presentation to talk a bit about some of the key areas that we're looking at that are sort of most within our reach for equality and areas that we still need to really reach even further in terms of equality. But what are your thoughts in terms of what you're reflecting on here for Blind Americans Equality Day and White Cane Awareness Day?
We have come so far, especially in digital equality or digital accessibility, and that has become such a part of our lives now. And as blind people, we benefit so much from digital technology. At this point, we have sort of solved a lot of accessibility issues, especially when you think about mobile apps and the web. And really, we're in the point of view, the point of implementation, and we've seen a lot of that over the years, and more things are accessible than ever before. But it's really a point of implementation now, and essentially extending that reach and bringing more things, making more things accessible more widely. And as anybody knows, over the last couple of years, AI has become a huge driver in the technology field, sort of universally, but it has a lot of implications for accessibility and has benefited accessibility a lot with things like AI vision and things like that, being able to describe images and videos now and things like that. And making sure that people who are blind or low vision don't get left behind as AI advances at a breakneck pace, and also finding ways that we can use that to improve our lives and improve accessibility, even in digitally, but also in the real world.
It's crazy to think 25 years ago when Access World launched in the year 2000, how far we've come, where AI would have been, conceptually with where we're at now with a lot of the apps and the way to augment our senses for people that are blind or have low vision, yourself and myself included. We've come where it feels like some of the conversations we have today were like flying cars back in the year 2000. It's exciting to think what's on the horizon and how Access World is really, in a sense, a place to be tracking that. Folks can find out about a lot of these areas where we're really looking to find, opportunities, strengths, growth, what the future holds for us at our AFB Leadership Conference. We'll be in Arlington, just outside Washington, D.C., November 12th through the 14th. Still time to register for that for folks that want to join us in Arlington. But we'll also be celebrating 25 years of Access World magazine. Congratulations, Aaron, on that celebration. 25 years looking back, what's the biggest gain you think, in addition to AI, that you probably think we might not have even envisioned 25 years ago?
The accessible smartphone for sure, and particularly the accessible iPhone in 2009. If you look at Access World issues from 2000, really through the early 2010s, there's a lot of times where mainstream devices were significantly less accessible. A lot of times you'll find a review, and the review comes down to this is entirely inaccessible for someone that's blind or low vision. And I'd say by 2011, 2012, so much of that had gone away. And I think some of that can be uh, was improved by the CVAA in 2012, I believe. Uh, but if you look at Access World now, when we do review mainstream products, oftentimes I can't think of the last time we reviewed something where it was entirely inaccessible. Now there's a lot more nuance to this could be better. This other, competing device might do this better, but does this worse. It rarely are you going to encounter something that's completely inaccessible, and that really came about during the sort of the smartphone renaissance.
Awesome. Yeah, there's so much to be thankful for that we've been able to make leaps and bounds in terms of independence and access through technology. Folks can find out more about what's on the horizon and where technology is going to be leading us into the future at afb.org/AW. Happy Blind Americans Equality Day, Happy White Cane Day, and everything in between.